Hello and welcome back to Grovis Does Britannia. We're on the second age server of Ultima Online, and I wanted to spend a couple minutes and give you an overview of the server, what it's all about, and of course these are my opinions, but this is a server set in the second age era of the classic MMO Ultima Online, and the server mission is all about error accuracy. Says here on the main website to the page, are you tired of playing the same cookie cutter games that lack accomplishments, true friendships, epic battles, and a sense of free will? Now the greatest 2D game has returned, Ultima Online, unmatched to this day in depth of mechanics and interactions, a social sandbox unlike any other. So to explore the website a little bit, you can download the client here. This is kind of a work in progress because eventually they're going to have they're going to implement their version of CUO into our server, so that you can have some of the CUO features, which is more of a modern client than what's currently on there. The assist program we're allowed to use is Razor. UOSecondAge.com, port 2593. You've got really helpful forums. They're kind of dated, but they're going to be updating this a little bit as well. Lots of skill gain guides and stuff can be found on there. And then there's no pay to play. I mean, you can make donations, but you're not going to get anything from doing it other than helping out. My USA is a really good tab to look at. You can see what players are online. You can look at different guilds. If people are online, you can also see how many murder counts they have. Looks like Morpheus has 460 counts. You can also look at Karma and Fame. You can also search guilds, or players. There's also, let's see, where's it at? The event schedule can be found here as well. And they've got several events that are not accurate to the era, but just stuff that the GM splashed in. You've got deathmatch and PvP tournaments, capture the flags, survival, which is like a player versus monster type game. So there's a lot of fun stuff there. The main method of communication is our Discord server. So I'm going to show you this. Discord server is here. It's got general, which is the main, place people communicate. In-game events are here. The player was having horse racing, so they would post that here. If you want to do a player ran tournament, that would go on this tab. The UOSA content tab, this is where streamers and YouTubers and stuff will advertise their videos that they're playing, or guides, or whatever they want to do. Blade Spirit does a lot of live stuff as well. And you got PvP tab. This is for PvP and trash talking. And then there's guides. That's helpful. Error accuracy. This is where players talk about, what if they think something's not accurate or something we need to add in that needs to be more accurate. They would bring it up to staff here. Role playing. This is for people, want to role play, maybe do Orc Guild or something like that. And you've got client and Razor help. This is really nice for people trying to get CUO set up. Then you've got a few voice channels, trading posts for selling and buying stuff, recruiting channel, and then player vendor channel. There is also other games where you can talk about other games you play, other servers sometimes, and then off topic. Off topic, don't go in there unless you've got thick skin, because they talk about everything in there. politics, religion, race, other stuff. So it can be toxic at times. Stay out of that if you've got thin skin, or if you want to go in there and ruffle feathers and make people mad, hop in there. That's the place for you. But that's our Discord. A lot of useful information there. And then as far as staff goes, the server is owned by Derek. As far as I know, he still owns it. And then you've got 3 GMs. You've got a Narco. He is our lead GM, if you will. He does a lot of the programming and changes and final decisions on stuff. Boomland Jenkins is more of our event leader GM, where he'll do some story-driven stuff, come out with different seasonal events and quests and things for players. He brings a lot of stuff to the server. Lynx is our newest GM. He's pretty active. You can reach him if you need to buy something off the silver vendor, or if you got a bug you want to report to somebody, he'll show up and help you out. So the server definitely has active staff, which is always nice. So some of the things that I want to talk about was air accuracy. Bandages, you cut one at a time. That's one of the most air accurate things the server has. You can't cut a stack, it's one at a time. Line of sight issues. Monsters can see through walls, which they could in 98 as well. So if you're in a dungeon, you get a wall between you, or if you're inside a house, monsters can see you inside your house. So that's kind of buggy. But that's how it was. It's air accurate. Now, they did fix housing, where used to you could be able to kill someone inside their house, pretty much almost any tile. Let's see. So in this patio, you were only safe like up here by the bar stool. Players could target beneath the house and kill you. So they did fix that. That's been fixed. But it was like that in the era. You could kill people in houses. You could like stack up a bunch of coins to be able to see the floor, and then you could target the floor and lightning strike or meteor swarm inside the house and kill them where they stood. Only really small houses on the center tile were safe. Everything else was not. As far as vendors go, if you're going to buy regs, each time you buy out the vendor and they restock themselves, they add 9 as far as I'm aware. Some shards will double it. Not on this server. It adds 9. So these like ginseng starts out at 20. Somebody buys it all out. 45 minutes later, it'll spawn back with 29. Somebody buys those 29. 50 minutes later, it'll come back with 38. So you can't. It's harder to get vendors bought up to buy a decent amount of items unless someone's doing 23 hours a day. So there are some reg buying bots that go around. There are standard housing rules and styles on Second Age. You've got the classic small house, castle, 2-story, L-shape, tower, keep. What else? Oh, large brick. I think that's pretty much it. There's no Renaissance housing here. It's all classic T2A houses. Archery is broken, just like it was back in 98. When you unequip your bow and to drink a potion or cast a spell and you re-equip it, you gotta wait like 10 seconds before you fire an arrow, and you have to stand still to fire arrow. If you fire an arrow and move, it's buggy. I'll show you. See, so I shot it by moving. It'll never hit. See? It just keeps shooting, but it never hits. You have to just stand still. It'll get a shot off. But then, like, I took it off just now, put my bow back on. I have to wait the entire duration for it to fire again. There it goes. So, but other weapons don't work that way. They use your wrestle timer. So if you have a sword or a halberd or a fencing weapon or a mace weapon, your counter's still going when you're unequipping and doing spells and drinking pots. Archery, it resets every time, so you really can't use it in PvP. And it's kind of hard to use it in PvM unless you keep the bow equipped the entire time. So archery, as it was in the era, is definitely broken. The other thing is clothing blessed deeds. You can bless clothing. So if you die, it'll be on your corpse as long as it's in the top pack. But it definitely can be broken. So you can buy some of these fancy masks or fancy shoes, or you can make some fancy clothes and bless it with a clothing blessed deed. But it can break. So it takes mace fighting damage, monster damage, things like that. Speaking of that, there is a silver alternate currency on the server, which wasn't to the accurate. That's something accurate to the era. That's something the staff added to encourage players to, spend some of their in-game stuff, gold, and convert it to silver, so you can buy some special hues and clothing blessed deeds and like this fireplace deal over here and different trophies, and there's different things you can buy with that. There's not a vendor you can buy from in game. You have to page Boomland Links or Anarcho to be able to make silver purchases, but there's a list on the forums on what you can buy and how much everything costs for that. What else here? PVM is classic PVM. All the monsters you remember from way back in the day, same spots apply. You've got Lich Lords. This is like one of the prime farming spots. You got one Lich Lord, one Lich. Gosh, I'm pretty slow. Another thing that's pretty nostalgic about this server is the amount of new people we get. And I think that's the server's biggest charm and biggest asset is whenever people are looking for a true classic T2A, Ultima Online, Second Age, right out the gate experience. This is the first one that comes up on Google searches. It's the first server that people usually try out when they're looking for this type era of a server. So we get all the new people, which is really charming. It's nice to have new people. You see a lot of activity at the bank, people asking questions, interacting. So that's good stuff. That's the biggest draw I think that this server has. There is PvP on the server. I mean, there's PKs on the server. There's not a whole lot of PvP. There is a little bit, but you are going to have PKs. They'll track you down at hot spots like this. I'm not sure if one will show up now. It depends if they're online. There's not that many of them. There's maybe 3 on the server out of 100, 150 people that play. But they do hit all the hot spots pretty regularly. So it's a hardcore environment. You're gonna get killed. You lose your stuff. Sometimes you won't. I mean, if they think you're new, they'll res you, get you a gate. And then they don't really like the PvP that much. They kind of run if you fight back. So we don't have a whole lot of PvPers. There are some people that do tournaments, but as far as like PK PvPers, not so much. We do need that. But yeah, just come check it out. There's a lot of people coming back, a lot of veterans and new players checking it out. So it's a lot of fun. It's a good server to check out. I'm going to do a kind of overview of the other T2A server I play as well. So stay tuned for that video. I'll probably do that next week. But hope you check out the server. Link is in the description for how you connect, what the Discord server is, and all that. So check it out. It's free to play. You can have 3 accounts for free, 5 characters on each, so you can have 15 characters. You can even have 15 houses. There's housing spots out there. So hope to see you all soon, and welcome back to this game that you all know and love and miss, I'm sure. So come back and join the fun. Until next time, take care.